Hello everyone, my name is Rehan Khan. I am from BCA first year and I am here to present you the topic pointers in C programming language. Here we come to point what are pointers. Okay? The pointer is a variable that stores the memory address of another variable. It is useful for doing programs with arrays, functions and structures that allows efficient data access and direct data manipulation. Since it direct holds the memory address of the variables, it directly manipulates the data. Like I said, pointers allow us to access and modify data stored at that address directly. They make programs more efficient and help in handling arrays, functions, and structures, and dynamic memory allocation. For example, here I have declared in this code I have declared a point integer a and I addressed and gave it the value of 10, and I have declared pointer p and addressed the value of a in pointer p, and then I have printed the value of pointer p and it printed the 10. Since it already holds the value of a, it printed the value of a using the pointer. Then here in this code we have declared the pointer and addressed the value of a, and then we have changed the value pointer p to 20, then printed the value of a. Since pointer allowed direct data manipulation, it changed the value of a to 20, and then the printf statement printed the value 20. Then now we come to the point. How pointers work? We know what are pointers. How pointers work? We know what are pointers. How they work. Now how they work we are going to know. The address of operator here gives the memory address which is stored of the variable where the variable is stored. Okay. Then and the asterisk variable gives the value at the place where the variable is stored. Okay. So a pointer is something which connects the memory location and the variable. In this code, same thing, we have declared an integer a, variable a, and a pointer p, and address the value of a. Then we have printed the pointer p without the asterisk symbol, and when it gets printed, it gives the memory location at which the variable a was stored, at which the 10 was stored. Okay. Since we have to not add the asterisk variable as asterisk operator, we have printed the memory location. Now we have printed the pointer p with the asterisk symbol. It will print the value 10. Then now we come how to declare and initialize the pointer. We know how it works. We have to know how to declare and initialize them. Now, declaration is simply telling the compiler which data type it would be and in what name it would be stored. So the syntax is we have to specify the data type like int, char, float, and the pointer a name with an asterisk symbol and a column. Now here for example we have in the main function we have declared a pointer, integer pointer with the asterisk symbol ptr. The pointer ptr holds integer value. Now we come how to initialize the pointer. Initializing the pointer is simply assigning a valid memory location to the pointer. And its syntax is almost same. We have to specify the pointer name, and in the equal to symbol we have to use the address of operator and then the variable whose address we have to store in the pointer. In the example you can see we have declared integer a 10. Then while initializing the pointer we have declared a pointer ptr and address the value of a, and this is what initialization is, because now ptr holds the value which is stored at the a, with the memory location of a, which is 10. Now we come to what pointers are useful for, how pointers advantage is. Okay, the first advantage is it allows efficient data access. Since it holds directly the memory address of the variable, it allows direct data access and direct data manipulation. It enables dynamic memory allocation. Or now we wonder what are dynamic memory allocation. Dynamic memory allocation is simply the process of allocating memory at runtime using library functions stored in the standard library header file, and it is basically allows a program to request memory when it actually needs it rather than fixing it beforehand. And it is used, just like I said before, it is useful in functions, arrays and structures. And since it directly holds a variable address, it makes the programs much more flexible and convenient to use. Now we know what are advantages, so we should come to disadvantages. The first disadvantage is using pointers incorrectly can cause program crashes and errors. Suppose you declare a pointer and wrongly address the variable, then it will cause crash and errors in program. Uninitialized pointers may lead to random memory locations. Suppose you declared a pointer and did not address a variable to it. You just addressed a value to it, like 10. Integer pointer is equal to 10. Then it will, every time you print a variable or the memory address, it will point to random memory locations. It doesn't have a memory location of its own. Then the third part is memory leaks will happen if memory is not freed properly. If you do not use the pointers correctly and do not close the memory, it will cause memory leaks. And the last disadvantage of pointer is that for beginners, it is harder to understand and debug it. Now we come to the next step, pointers arithmetic. The pointers arithmetic. Now pointer supports arithmetic operations like addition, subtraction, and subtraction. These operators depend on a data type size. Okay, the operation that can be done are plus and minus, like addition, subtraction. When a pointer, and if you suppose you have declared a pointer and holds a value, and then you increment the pointer, then it will get incremented and hold the value which is stored at the next memory location. And similarly, if it's incremented, it will store the value stored at the previous memory location. Like how we have shown in the examples. This is an array which holds 3 values. Dimension is 1 dimensional array, and here this pointer we have addressed the value of array into the pointer p. Since there is no AND operator, the array name directly points to the first element of the array. Now if we have printed the pointer p, it will print 10. Since the array name points to the first element of array, it printed 10, like you can see here. Now we have incremented the pointer and then printed it. Then since it will get to the next memory location, it will print 20. Now we come to the next part. Pointers can also store arrays like I showed you in the example. Pointer that stores the address of the whole array is known as pointer to arrays. Array name act as a base address to the first element of the array. If we do not use the address of operator, it will simply point to the first element of the array. And it is used when you need to handle arrays in a single block of code, like passing a 2D array into function. The syntax of this pointer to arrays is that first you have to specify what data type of pointer it should be, and then in the parenthesis you have to specify the pointer name and the array size. What size of array you want it to be, what rows, what columns. And then in the example you can see we declared a array and address, and we have set the size of array to 3 and we use the address